Hey guys, Marsling here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so obviously earlier in the news today we got the teaser on JP for the upcoming release of the Goku and Cell dual Dokkan Fest. I want to give a shout out to everybody who did watch the video that I put up earlier today. I'd recorded a video last night my time before bed because I had to have work today, and I had scheduled that video to go up later in the afternoon. Funnily enough, probably around the same time this video is going to end up going up, because judging by the date from the producer letter, I thought we would see the previews for the upcoming celebration tomorrow, or at least in sometime within the next 12 hours from when this video goes up, because that's when the announcement came out last year. Now, the interesting thing obviously that has happened is that this teaser has come out on the JP version, but it has not come out on the global version. So we're still expecting that. Well, tomorrow for me, it'll still be the 24th in America, because obviously that's the date that they put in the producer letter. But in terms of UK time, news usually comes out at either 1 AM or 7:30 AM. So that's what time I would potentially be expecting this reveal tomorrow. But obviously we will have to wait and see. So all the information that we're going to go through in this video is obviously going to be appropriate for JP, but at this point we don't actually have confirmation that we are getting the same celebration on global. Obviously we all assume that we still are, but it is kind of strange that last year they did announce them in game on both versions at the same time, whereas on this year they have not done that. So obviously, whilst it's still, I would assume it's still going to be the Goku and Cell, we actually don't know that for sure. And, you know, who knows, right? At this point, nothing is 100% confirmed, so it could be anything. But I'm going to assume that it is. Obviously, I'm going to talk about in this video, as you can tell by the title, units that potentially will EZA during this celebration. And obviously, that is useful information, because if you want to, you can start link leveling those units now, which is actually what I have done. So as soon as the announcement came out earlier today, I changed my link level team completely, because I've just been link leveling a bunch of crossover units, looking forward to, you know, the hero celebration later on this year. So I've changed my team completely to literally being a team of these units that we're going to talk about now. So, who could EZA during this celebration? Obviously, some are potentially more likely than others, but I've gone down through the Android/Cell Saga category. Now, obviously, we don't know the leader skills for the new Goku and Cell, so I am solely basing this on characters that are in the Android/Cell Saga category. Obviously, if Goku and Cell drop with new categories, they could choose to EZA units from those categories instead. Obviously, we have no real way to know, so I've only based this on Android/Cell Saga units. So it'll be very interesting to see what does actually come from this. So we're going to dive in straight away with the full-on hardcore Hopium option, which is of course Agl Lr Gohan and Int Lrcell. Now, there's been some discussion on Twitter today. A lot of people think that this is like super likely, and a lot of people think that it's quite unlikely. And obviously there are good arguments either way. But one of the things you have to think about is I've seen some people say that it's too soon to EZA them, but if we look at their release date, they came out in 2019. That is when the LR Super Saiyan 4s came out for the 4th anniversary, and obviously they just EZA'd during the 7th anniversary. And if you think about Global's timeline, remember that the anniversary for Global is in July, which means the Super Saiyan 4s that are going to EZA during the anniversary, they only came out a month before these units. So in terms of the Global timeline, I would say it's definitely not too early for them to be getting an EZA. And I do think they need it. I've seen some people saying that they don't really need an EZA yet, but I think they definitely do for a couple of reasons. Now, Gohan is still very good to this day, right? In long form events, you can build up his defense to a decent number. He still hits reasonable attack stats. He's just not like an impressive unit anymore, right? Like, he's not putting out like 6-7 million attack stats within the first couple of turns, you know, getting to like 500k defense by turn like 6 or 7 or something like that. So he definitely could be better, and that is kind of the point of an EZA. Now, I know the one big thing that people really want to see is this changing right here, right? His active skill condition. Now, I had a very interesting discussion today with Sora, Annie, a couple of other people. If you want to find all the details, then obviously you can go check my Twitter at @TheMaskedNingen. You should be following me anyway, so make sure you do if you haven't already. I won't go into all the details, but you can see the full explanation there. Basically, when it comes to EZAing units that have an active skill transformation, changing the condition is very difficult. Now, obviously, we've had like Android 21, AGL, Blue Evolution Vegeta, Lrcell, like these units that got their conditions to change for their transformation when they got an EZA, but none of those units transformed via an active skill. Now, to break down the long explanation as to why into a more simple term, what it basically boils down to is they can't change the transformation condition with an active skill because of the way the in-game database works without it also changing the condition for the pre-EZA'd version. So what that means is, if they did update this, let's say they just literally changed this to can be activated from turn 5, no other condition. What that would do is it would change the condition for the un-EZA'd version to being just transformed from turn 5. And if they wanted to change it and actually change the way the database works so that the pre-EZA condition stayed the same, it would actually require them to rework the database, which would then require an app version update. Now, obviously, if that is the way they have to do it, then I think they should just do that. But when it comes down to this whole, well, if they change it, it will change the pre-EZA'd version under the current system, why don't they just do that then? Because everybody's hated Gohan's transformation condition ever since he came out. So if you're going to give him an EZA, and let's say you change his condition to just from turn 5, not like anyone who owns the unit, they're going to get that change pre-EZA, but like they're still going to do the EZA because why wouldn't you, right? Because it gets much better after you've done the EZA. So I don't really see the huge issue with that, but that is something that definitely would be worthwhile because I still use this guy sometimes on certain teams, especially because he's the perfect link partner for Int Namek Goku, but you just never see this. And obviously if they give him an EZA, the Super Saiyan 2 form is going to become even better, but you're never going to see it. So I definitely would like to see that. And then when it comes to Cell, I feel like Cell is literally only used nowadays for this. I've used him in multiple ESBR no item runs because he gives you a free heal when you drop below 30% and he transforms into Perfect Cell. But if you've watched my run for like the Android's no item run and stuff like that, before or even after he transforms, he's still taking a lot of damage. He can hit some pretty reasonable attack stats, but in terms of difficult content, his defense is not cutting it nowadays. So I definitely think both of these units could benefit massively from an EZA. So then moving on to some more likely options, obviously with the Gohan and Cell, we got this in Android 16 and the Cell Juniors. Both of these units obviously just as old. Like this guy, I don't think anyone ever used him since he released. He has this weird design where you were kind of supposed to use him with Gohan to help him activate his transformation, but they're only on Android Cell Saga team together. And I guess, wait, is he on Powerful Comeback? No, he isn't. Wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong bit. Is he on Powerful Comeback? How is he not on Powerful Comeback? Surely after, like, he's getting beaten down by Cell, and then he does the Father-Son Kamehameha to finish him off. Would you not call that a powerful comeback? But there you go. So they're only on one category together. So what they would really need to do is just make this guy's EZA so insanely good that even though he doesn't really link very well, and you'd just be running him on the team to help Gohan transform, just make him so that he's good enough that it's actually worth doing that. And then obviously these guys, you could make these guys a really good support as well, because even though they are the Cell Juniors, they don't link super well with a lot of the other Cell units. So there's definitely some good stuff that they could do with these two. I honestly never thought I would ever see myself link leveling this guy, but again, he is on my team now, just in case these guys do get an EZA. So next up we have Prime Battle Cell. Now this one I think is a bit more of an interesting choice, because whilst it obviously makes sense for the theme, we do know from the upcoming stuff for JP that the Int Prime Battle Vegeta is getting his EZA within the next few days. So it does kind of seem unlikely that they would EZA another Prime Battle LR, like basically at the same time. Now obviously on Global, if it is the same time celebration, we would only be getting the Cell one. but it does seem a bit weird for them to be doing both at the same time on JP. So whilst I would like to see him get an EZA as well, because I mean this is sick, right? Super cool, but I think this one is probably one of the less likely ones, but I never finished link leveling him. I did start him at one point, so I've put him on the team as well. He could definitely still be a possibility for getting an EZA. Next up, we have some other likely summonable LRs. If we're not going to get Agl, Gohan, and Cell, or maybe even if we do, the physical androids are a huge candidate for an EZA, because obviously they're still part of the Android/Cell saga, but not really, you know, anything to do with the Cell games at that point. And this unit, like, I loved this unit when it first came out. Long-time fans of the channel know that it's not just Super 17, but I'm a huge fan of the Android category in general. And this unit has dropped off massively. In some difficult content, like 16 can still be pretty good, because he's a very good defensive unit, but this unit just does not cut it anymore. So them getting an EZA would actually be amazing for the Android team that has gotten a lot of really good buffs lately. So I would love to see an EZA for them. And then, of course, we also have the physical Lrcell. Now, he is one of the older, like, era of LRs. So he feels like one of the ones that could be most likely to get an EZA during this celebration. And if he does, he could be looking really, really good, because for stuff like Super Battle Road, his 12 key super is an AoE, which also heals you. So really, really good for that. And then, of course, his 18 key is a one target super that does a lot of damage. So if they just make him really strong defensively, even in difficult content like the red zone, he would still be good, right? As long as his defense is good. Because this is the thing you have to remember, is any of these units that are going to EZA, even if the celebration is on both versions at the same time, you have to imagine that they're designing these EZAs with the red zone in mind, because that is the new difficult content on JP, right? So there's no point doing these EZAs for a celebration, even if it is a dual celebration. There's no point doing these EZAs if they're all just going to be fodder in the red zone. So, you know, this guy could still end up being really, really good. And then being good in the red zone and being really good in Super Battle Road, like, he would be a fantastic unit after an EZA. I link leveled him a long time ago, because obviously he's very good. Once the link level update came out, the rotation of him and the Int Lrcell got such a massive buff. So he's been link leveled for quite some time, but he is definitely a prime candidate for getting an EZA during this celebration. So moving on to the next one, as far as I can remember, we're going to have a look at the category list again when I get to the end, but I think this might be the only Dokkan Fest exclusive TUR that doesn't have an EZA that is from the Android/Cell Saga category. So like I say, we will have another look in a minute, although I think actually isn't Int Future Gohan on there, but obviously Int Future Gohan's not really part of, like, the Cell part of the Android/Cell Saga, whereas obviously this Piccolo fusing with Kami is the one that fights Android 17 before he gets absorbed by Cell. So I think he would be a pretty good candidate. He could be really, really good. Namekian still needs a lot of buffs for it to be a good team. Worthy Rivals is a good team, but it's so, like, Vegeta heavy that, you know, you should, if you're going to run a Worthy Rivals team, like say Worthy Rivals SBR or whatever comes out, you probably aren't going to run Piccolo, even though he does have the Scouter ability, which is of course super, super useful. So him getting an EZA, he could be really, really good. And depending what the Goku and Cell's leader skills are going to be, like their team, whether it's some combination of Android/Cell Saga and something else or not, their teams could hugely benefit from him being on the team just for this Scouter effect. So if they do make him a really strong unit, because remember, he infinitely stacks defense. So imagine if they made this, like, greatly raise his defense infinitely, give him a buff to all the rest of his stats, and then even when it comes to, like, the red zone, as long as you have some time for him to build up, he could still be pretty good. The only problem with him overall is that you have to have a Namekian on the team in order to fuse with Kami and transform. But obviously in his untransformed state, he is still pretty good with the infinite stack and the seeing super attacks. He does keep that in the transform, the C super attacks. He just loses the infinite stack. So could still be very, very good, but obviously his transformation condition would have to change. Obviously it is an active skill one again. So as we said with the Gohan one, they'd have to fully change it completely for that to work. But in terms of Dokkan Fest exclusive TURs, he seems like the most viable option. Then we have a couple of random options. We have this Int Krillin and the AGL 18 from the barber shop. Now, funnily enough, I've never picked up these two units. because they are from, sorry, the Battlefield shop, specifically from the barbershop, right? So never having really needed these units, I've never picked them up myself, but they are quite old. As you can see, they came out in 2019 as well, so they could be viable candidates for an EZA, definitely. They're both reasonably interesting units. To be honest, they do just feel like fairly decent free-to-play options, right? Because they're from the barbershop, but they could be pretty good. I mean, obviously, with androids getting a bunch of buffs, this 18 definitely could be pretty good, but I don't know if I see it super likely that they will get them, because I don't think any barbershop units or like Battlefield units apart from physical Ginyu Force on JP actually have EZA'S, so I don't know, but they could definitely be candidates. And then somebody pointed out on Twitter to me this Tech Super Saiyan Trunks as well. Because obviously he's from the Android Cell saga. He does get a buff when there's a future Gohan on the team, but he gets guaranteed crits against androids, and then he gets an extra attack buff against Cell. So obviously Cell is a big part of the celebration. I might do a separate video about what events we could expect to see, so let me know down below if that's something you'd be interested in, because I do think we could see, remember last year for Golden Week, that was when we got the GT Legendary Goku event, so I could see us getting like a Legendary Cell event during this celebration, and so then obviously that would be the perfect time to give this guy an EZA, because then he would be an absolute beast in that celebration. So if we go back over to the category, let's have a quick scroll down here and see if there's anyone we missed. Obviously these guys are like those old Global versus JP like worldwide celebration reward cards, so probably unlikely that they would EZA. We covered pretty much all the LRs. This guy's from Battlefield, so he won't get one. Sorry, from Super Battle Road, so he won't get one just randomly. These guys I guess could, right? But they're another Battlefield shop LR. So I don't know if they would do these guys first or like out of turn, I guess, because they did do the Ginyu Force first. But you never know. They are related to the theme of the celebration. I did miss out this guy, actually. I put him on my link level team, so I can't believe I forgot to open the tab for him. But Agl Super Vegeta, obviously he is a super old unit. Yeah, he got his awakening even on Global 2018, but JP 2017. And he's as basic units can get. He does supreme damage, he has a couple of turns of attack stacking, and then he supports AGL, STR, and physical. So I imagine they would literally just change this to like all allies. But like he's almost a complete blank slate apart from this support, right? Change this to all allies, maybe bump it up to 30%, and then, you know, obviously he would get some start of turn attack and defense. But he's kind of like a blank slate, and he's on a lot of teams, including like Heavenly Events, Mastered Evolution, Rapid Growth. Like he could help out quite a lot of teams if he got an EZA. So that could definitely be very good. We've not yet had any World Tournament card EZAs, but obviously this guy would be a prime candidate for the first one. Who knows? A joint celebration could be a pretty cool time to actually get our first World Tournament unit EZA. That would be pretty cool. This is the In Future Gohan, obviously the only other Dokkan Fest exclusive that I can see looking at the list. I think he is the only Dokkan Fest exclusive other than Piccolo from this category that does not have an EZA. Oh, and obviously there is also the future Android 18, and he's physical, isn't he? Yeah, the future Android 17. So there's definitely quite a lot of options here for potential EZAs. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Are you going to start link leveling any of them just in case? Obviously the risk you take is if you link level a unit like, say, the in Android 16 and then he doesn't get an EZA, it means you just link leveled this mid unit for no reason. So I can kind of see the argument for not starting it early. But obviously as a content creator, if they do get an EZA, I want to be able to do level 10 link showcases for them like straight away. So I'm just going to take the risk and link level a bunch of these units. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Who do you think is most likely to get an EZA? Are you going to start preparing them? Let me know down below all of your thoughts in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.